Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California on an absolutely spectacular fall day here in SoCal. It is absolutely gorgeous. I can feel the warmth of the sun on my face already. The ocean looks absolutely beautiful. There's so many nice people walking by, and the fishing, it is still red hot. Well, let me put it this way. It's hit and miss. I mean, there were some real clunkers yesterday, but overall, there was some really great fishing, including right out here on the Victory. I'm standing in Southern California in Seal Beach, near Seal Beach, between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and right offshore, not too far from here, there was some great fishing. We'll get into that. And then also the San Diego Bay's boats still finding copious amounts of yellowfin tuna mixed in with bluefin tuna. You know, this is not over by a long shot. It's going to push right through the first of the year if our water temperatures hold. And even if they drop, who knows? We may get a surprise from those longfins. You just never know. I haven't thrown in the towel yet. I won't throw it in until the first of the year. And then I will admit defeat on albacore prediction once again. But what the heck else is new? Great lobster fishing last night. We had some windier weather a couple days ago, and those bugs love to crawl after that. We'll talk about that a little bit. And, of course, the surf bite and so much more. You know what time it is, my friends. Good morning to you. It's time for the morning briefing. And it's time for this delicious cup of coffee. My God, is that good? And is it beautiful or what here today? What a perfect day to come down and go surf fishing or be offshore and be hitting the great tuna fishing that we are experiencing here this year. Hit that like button, share these videos if you are enjoying them, tick the bell, you'll be notified when there's new content, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We are there for you every single day, nearing 4 million views on YouTube alone. And when you combine all our social media together with YouTube, up over 10 million total now. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough for that. You have really turned this into the real deal. And once again, you have my gratitude. All right, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's start out by talking about we had a Walk with Phil event down at 22nd Street Landing. I want to thank all the great folks who showed up for that event. It was truly great to see Bass Pro Todd Woods and his lovely wife, along with John Lopez and his entire family. His wife, Christina, and the kids were absolutely wonderful to hang out with. His son, John, was just so excited to be walking around the harbor and trying to find Garibaldis and so much more. And we've got to welcome John on as a new sponsor. John, thank you so very much for placing your confidence in Friedman Adventures. We really appreciate it. And Friedman Adventures family, if you need any help with heating and air conditioning, John Lopez and Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning, he is your man. 626-901-4822. Get on it, my friends. John, welcome to the family. All right, my friends, let's talk a little bit about lobster fishing last night. Then we'll get into the Ensenada bite and this tuna bite. Man, there's some great scores going on and some local fish. It's absolutely phenomenal. Lobster last night, great for many of the guys who were out. We got some reports in. Jim Lambert and Fred Lamboy, they were out there doing their thing and having a lot of fun with Scott Sherman. In fact, I think Fred, it was his very first lobster trip last night. So you can see some of the photos there. They are doing really good on the langostas. Remember, those things are really expensive in our local markets right now. So if you go out and get 5-10 pounds of lobster, you're getting up there around $200, $300, $400, $500 worth of product that is so good and so delicious that you won't deserve it. Don't forget, promarahi.com. Put in Friedman 10 at checkout. You'll get a 10% discount, or walk right down the street here to the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway, and you walk into Big Fish Bait and Tackle. They'll give you 10% off your lobster. It truly is a lot of fun, and man, those things are so good to eat and so expensive if you walk into the market and buy them, so you may as well get out there and have some fun. Ensenada, 70 miles south of the border. Down there, there's a lot of yellowfin marauding around outside of there. Water's starting to clean up. We don't have so much of that red tide. We do have still patches of it some areas are pretty bad, but it has cleaned up quite a bit. Yellowfin, some Dorado on the kelp. Some more, it seems like, here right now. We're starting to see a little influx of flatheads right now. There's also bluefin tuna. You've got to find that right kelp patty. You got to get that right jig strike. You got to find that right turn bird that shows you where those fish are. If you do, you can do really, really well. And then inshore, bonita fishing's been fabulous. Great calico fishing. If you fish around Punta Banda and those areas, it's been fabulous this year. Also, an occasional yellowtail, a little bit of barracuda around, kind of hanging out late down there. Really nice fishing down in it. Let's get you up here. And I'm going to just take the offshore scene as a whole. Many times we'll just talk San Diego, but we've got to just kind of lump everybody in on it because we've got fish from San Diego up to Ventura. If you're on multi-day trips, guys can reach the areas that have been very, very productive. I've got to start out with the Victory, okay? Because he's a local boat here out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. And the guys from Fishing Syndicate and KC Anglers and our friend Marcus Fain were on there. And what a great trip they got into yesterday. In fact, they had to stay late, and they just kept hanging fish over and over and over again. It was absolutely fantastic. Rick from KC Anglers, I think he went 5 for 6. Look at the grade of fish. It's beautiful, beautiful bluefin tuna. They had 41 fish on the Victory yesterday, and I don't know how it can get any better than that. Let us please not take this for granted. Let's not do that. This is spectacular fishing. 41 nice bluefin. Marcus said light line, so 20, 25 pound, good grade of fish. You got to be careful, but you got to get a bite. So you want to drop your fluorocarbon down to 20, 25 pound. A butt hook bait and a smaller hook also can be very effective, like a number 4 circle hook can be super effective. www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift from owner Greg Brown. So a spectacular trip. No question about it. So great to see everybody having a good time on that one. The Amigo 22nd Street Land, our friend David Choate was on board of that one. David's one of the finest anglers you'll ever find anywhere. He's good friends with a really good friend of mine, Matt Schlurp. He wasn't on it, Matt, but David said, man, I'll tell you, Amigo crew, fantastic. We got into a plunker bite on the yellowfin tuna, 30 YFT on an overnight trip out of San Pedro. That's some pretty darn good shooting, if you ask me. Nice trip on the Amigo. We'll be on there October the 8th, departure. Can't wait for that one. Our last trip was phenomenal. So nice hit there. A lot of casualties, David said. Sometimes when you're in those plunker bites and you're dropping that line down to 20, 25, you're going to end up with casualties. But you can't catch them unless you get a bite. Sometimes you just have to drop down to that lighter stuff. Sea Adventure 80, not a wide open trip for them out of H&M, but they had 8 bluefin, over 200 pounds. Wow, that is some pretty good fishing. Full day trips out of San Diego yesterday. I tell you, it was hit and miss. Sea Watch, 39 bluefin, 51 yellowfin for 26 guys. Can't get much better than that. San Diego struggled yesterday, 34 guys with 11 bluefin and 1 yellowtail. Joe Mendez, he got his butt kicked, he said, on these fish, but he had a great time and ended up with some nice fish down there out of San Diego yesterday. The Mission Bells, our friend Sean Hardigan normally on there, 74 on the yellowfin tuna. Nice hit for them. El Capitan, 18 anglers, 28 bluefin, 25 yellowfin, and 3 Dorado. There were a couple of guys that turned in no report, and I don't have to read between the lines for you. When it's no report, it's because it was a tough day out there on the water. So once again, kind of mixed scores. It's those plunker bites for the most part, unless you get into a ripper on the yellowfin tuna where they chew everything inside. But most of the time, it's those slow, plodding plunker bites where you have to work hard, dropping that fluorocarbon down, choosing a good hot bait, changing that bait regularly, and perhaps most important of all, watching everyone around you, seeing what's working, and then changing up your game. That is so very important. Thunderbird, Davies, Locker, Newport Beach, California. Jeff Markland running the rig, doing a great job. Goofy down in the galley, being goofy as always. 26 guys, 66 bluefin tuna, 53 yellowfin tuna, 4 flatheads to go along with that. Back to San Diego, the Liberty, 90 yellowfin, 12 bluefin, 3 yellowtail. Nice hit for the Islander on a 2-day trip, 89 yellowfin and 53 on the bluefin tuna. My God, that is some good fishing. The Enterprise out of Pier Point Landing in Long Beach, 220 rockfish. Then they go out, they get into that tuna a little bit, get 6 nice, great yellowfin tuna. I mean, if you would have told me as a kid when I was fishing the local boats, hey, we're going to go out and limit out on rockfish, and then we're going to go off and catch some 50, 60-pound tuna, I would have died. Fishing is better today than it's been throughout my entire lifetime, and that's a long time, as you can see by just looking at me. So, once again, really great opportunities right now. Beautiful weather. The fall is the time to be out on the water. November the 3rd, we're on board the Horizon. Don't forget, we're going to have a great time. November the 3rd, a day-and-a-half trip, departing down there out of San Diego, I believe at 7 p.m. on a Friday evening, $495 for that trip. It's going to be fun. Our last one on there, limits of bluefin tuna. We had an absolute ball on that trip. All your meals are included in that $495, so it's going to be fun. I'll tell you that. And for those of you who were on there last time, you know exactly what I am talking about. You can go to the you can go to the Freedman Adventures Facebook page, and there's a link there. You just click on the Horizon, go to their website, horizoncharters.com, and then scan down to the bottom, and you can sign up for that trip. Just put it online, so make sure you jump on there before it is too late. So some really good offshore fishing going on right now, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to be on the water. I suspect we're going to see more of it. As we look into the future, I don't see this slowing down one bit at all. We've had some wind, it reduced water temperature a little bit, and these fish just keep on chewing. So really good and great opportunities. Make sure you vary that tackle. We've talked about the 20 to 25 pound. We don't want to tell you not to bring your 40 to 60. And even if you have a little heavier than that, if you're doing any nighttime fishing on multi-day trips, you're definitely going to want to have a 2-speed reel with 100 to 130 pound on it, 200 pound leaders on the jigs for nighttime fishing, 250 to 400 gram jigs, colored line, metered line that changes color every 100 feet, so you know the depth of your lure. Perhaps the most important thing you can do at night is knowing the depth of your lure, listening to the captain, and dropping immediately when he tells you to do so. 5-day trip on board the Independence. We still have some room on that Freedman Adventures trip. We're leaving October the 20th, right around the corner. It would be great if you could join us on that one and become part of a great video that I intend to shoot on that trip. That is going to be a lot of fun. All right, checking out our island situation and seeing how that has been going here recently. It has not been wide open, and to be perfectly candid with you, not a lot of guys have been in on the islands because this offshore thing is dominating the Southern California sport fishing scene right now. Coronado Island, some yellows, calico bass, same thing at San Clemente Island. Our buddy Nick Ramirez on board the Pursuit yesterday out of 22nd Street Landing. Nick never has a bad day on the water because of his great attitude. But look, he did great. Whitefish and calico bass, sheep's head over there at Catalina Island. Nice little shot every once in a while on the bass, mostly the bottom grabbers right now, but you do get an occasion to see some yellows and hook one every once in a while also in that neck of the woods. So pretty darn good. I can't tell you that cat's been going good up there in the Channel Islands. The weather has been the main concern up there. There's been quite a bit of wind. It's been breezy up there in that neck of the woods, but when that weather settles down, boats are able to get out, check out the bluefin tuna. There's a pretty good amount of bluefin marauding around up there in the Channel Islands right now, but it's been hit and miss on that. It's been really consistent, however, on the rockfish. Excellent bottom bite going on there in the Channel Islands. It looks fantastic. Incidentally, perusing the SSTs up there over around Morro Bay, Bob Osborne, who likes to keep up on that kind of stuff, says, man, I love that 62-degree water up there for some albacore about 40 miles outside of Morro Bay. We'll have to keep our eyes on that and see if that could come to fruition. Along the coast, we see some good calico bass fishing down there in San Diego. A lot of releases on the shorts. Same thing, Oceanside, Dana, those areas catching great rockfish, but many of the boats in that zone have the opportunity to catch tuna, and who's not going to take that opportunity here as we move you into October. It's the 2nd of October. It's hard to believe how fast this year is going by here in the LA Orange County area, Long Beach, San Pedro, Redondo. Those guys all catching good amounts of rockfish. Many of those local boats, say from San Pedro down to Newport, getting a shot at those tuna. That is great news. And then we move you up to Marina del Rey and the local boats up there out of Ventura and Channel Islands in general, and good whitefish and sheepshead and rockfish. Man, nothing makes a better fish taco than fresh fish. And those species that I just mentioned are perfect for those golden brown, delicious Baja fish tacos that you're going to create for some family members and loved ones they'll never, ever forget. In the surf, we continue to see some pretty good corvina fishing. There's still a fair amount of halibut being taken here. Lucky crab lures, even a chrome crocodile, a few yellowfin croakers, some spotfin croaker. Pretty good surf fishing going on here. And this water looks beautiful here today. This is a great day to do it. I would go with that 4-hour window of opportunity, 2 hours before the high tide till 2 hours after. If you're fishing yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker, barred perch down there around Huntington Beach. Tino Valentine showed you how good that still is down there in that neck of the woods. I like that time, but you can catch fish on the low also. So if your work schedule or whatever time you have off doesn't coincide with when you want to go fishing, remember, you can catch fish on the low, especially corvina, which you can dig up sand crabs in the surf and fish with, or halibut. They'll bite on the low every single time. And don't forget your surf fishing headquarters. It's over there. What am I pointing at you for? It's down there. Just about a 15-minute walk. Corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. It's Big Fish Bait and Tackle. They've got all the baits you could possibly want. They've got all the tackle you'll need to be successful. I'm talking surf fishing and big game fishing. And I'm telling you, you buy your bait there, you drive down to Anderson and PCH, where you see that big tower up there, park on the other side of the street, free parking, walk across, and man, you're going to catch some fish. I'll guarantee, well, I don't know if I'll guarantee it, but you're in a good zone. Let me put it to you that way. You got the Seal Beach Pier and other places you can goof around at also. All right, my friends, great stuff going on. Don't forget, December the 2nd, we've got our great Christmas party going on at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. We're going to have great prizes. We're going to do, we're thinking of doing this grab bag thing where when you come, you get to pick one grab bag. Some of the grab bags will have okay gifts in them. Some will have some really good gifts. We'll have a great meal for you. Thinking about having Santa Claus there for the kids. It's going to be a day to remember. More details as we move along. December the 2nd, Redondo Beach. Put that on your calendar so you don't miss that one. And once again, we are going to continue to monitor what we see as some really great fishing. Don't forget to give us a like right now. Share these videos, tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And subscribe to the channel. Comment down below today. We deeply appreciate all your great support. Can't thank you enough. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Hey, can't wait for this day to unfold before our eyes, because you just never know what surprises await us here in SoCal. Once again, have a great day, and I hope to see you really, really soon.